G'day guys, welcome back. I'm Greg and this is my train room. Today we're looking at my building of the Peninsula here. We started with the baseboards last week, whenever that was, and now we're moving on to the Peninsula. This Peninsula's come along a bit sooner than I thought it would. I had my portable layout and I was trying to work out what to do with that, and I decided to tear it apart, use the baseboard and the Kato Track to just lay out a loop, plus a little bit more on this peninsula here, so that we can get some trains running around. So I had a few ideas of what I wanted to do, or could do here, I suppose. That what I wanted to do was probably a lot grander, but limited by the space and the amount of Kato Unitrack that I had, meant that I had to be a little more creative. So my first thought was just to use the figure of 8 on the portable layout, place it in here, put in some points to allow me to run in and run out of it. Now this was a simple solution, a little bit tricky given the height differences down the slope at this end of the layout, and also I just wasn't happy with just having trains run in and run out again. There wasn't much operational interest in that, and it sort of wasted half the track, because in the figure of 8, as you may remember, the two tracks were separated so that I could run DC and DCC at the same time on two different lines, and I didn't really want to have that this time. So I pulled apart the portable layout. I was going to try and use the plywood there, or reuse the plywood, but that wasn't a thing. So I've gone out and just bought myself some 6mm MDF, just lay on top of the original framework, and then lay out the Kato Track to form a track plan. Given the big sweeping curve at the end of this peninsula, I considered modelling the Bathurst station. It is actually on a bit of a decent curve actually, and I thought that would be a nice tie into the Bathurst bridges, and there's a few other yard tracks there that I could model. One of my favourite parts of the Bathurst station precinct is a road underpass. Actually passes under both the main and the loop line, plus another 2 or 3 yard tracks. And I thought it would be a cool thing to model that, but just in this space, it didn't really all work with the long leads needed to get back into those yard tracks. I decided it wasn't going to work for me. So I turned my attention to modelling my hometown of Moree. Turns out I had just enough Kato points to do that. So we'll jump on to the computer now, and I will show you the track plans that I used to develop the peninsula. So this is a track diagram from Moree, most likely in its heyday of railways. I'm not exactly sure when this is from. This was found on Facebook, but as you can see, a rather extensive yard with good sidings, engine facilities, even a turntable. This was when Moree was a large terminus for both the Inverell branch and also a major stop on the Werris Creek to Mungindi line. Unfortunately, I do not have the time or space or money or skill to build this, and it is a little bit out of my preferred time period, this obviously being when steam was king, and obviously a lot further away from my ideal setting of around 2003. And speaking of 2003, this is what Moree looked like in June of 2004. As you can see, there's still a number of good sidings to the west of the main line there, or at the top of the document. All of these were taken out
I believe in the late 2000s when the bypass went through. The Moree bypass following very closely along the rail alignment. We've got the Explorer compound near the Alice Street crossing there, and the Agri Park siding on the old Inverell line. I'm unsure if in 2004 the Agri Park siding was actually used. But in recent years, Broadbent have actually moved in and have started loading out of this siding again. It was very big news for Moree, now having 3 bulk handling facilities. So I have opted to model sort of the core sections of this on the peninsula for now. Those being the main line, the number 1 upsiding, and the number 2 upsiding with the Explorer compound. Unfortunately, this is all I can model with my current Kato Track. After building the portable layout, I decided to sell off the rest of my Kato Track as I didn't think I'd be modeling with it again. So if I do get motivated and I am enjoying this layout and on this small peninsula, I would like to purchase some more turnout and track and model the Agri Park siding, and then just to add extra operational interest, I could also model the number 1 goods siding. I do have memories of standing on the platform and looking across at the old goods sheds, and that would be a nice little thing to model there. So at this stage, we will be modeling the red parts of the diagram there with possible future aims to model the green parts. So we'll jump back to the layout now and I'll show you this in situ.
So on the peninsula itself, we will start at these points here, which is where the upsiding, number 1 upsiding, diverges from the main. To our left would be coming from Sydney or Werris Creek. Come around the end of the peninsula up to these points here. So now on our right is the main, on the left being the number 1 upsiding, with the points diverging to the number 2 upsiding. Pass through here with the station building going between the 2 closer tracks here. Through to the points where the number 1 upsiding merges with the main. The points there next to the dinosaur is for the Explorer compound. And then the points where the number 2 upsiding converges back with the main. Just past here will be the Alice Street crossing before heading back onto the bridge baseboard and back around into Sydney terminus. The Explorer compound will be used as the loop to give a full just oval running capabilities on this peninsula. That's more for play value and loco testing than anything operational. So as you can tell, this doesn't look much like the Moree station precinct, and it is definitely more of a diagrammatic and representation of the siding rather than a proper model of it. This will assist in how I learn the operations and points and signalling for the area, and then eventually modelling it not in Kato, so I have a little bit more flexibility in the track laying. Speaking of flexibility in track laying, the annoying thing about Kato sometimes is you can't quite get the sidings to come back together, so I've actually had to modify a piece of Kato track to fit in this gap here, which is actually much more straightforward than I thought it was going to be. It's a simple matter of cutting out a section from the middle with a hacksaw, sliding the pieces together, and then cutting the ends of the rails. In this case here, I did a terrible job with measuring, and we do have to redo that one. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you followed along there pretty well with my strange ideas. I'm really excited about getting in and modeling the signaling and train routing aspects of this little peninsula. Very basic, with only a main and 2 sidings running in a single direction, but I think it's a great place to start. So the next step from here will be to build some mock signals and then and start looking at an interlocking system, because I think my two favourite parts of this hobby are track planning and signalling. And maybe as a train controller, I am a bit biased towards those things, but I just find those the most fun and the most challenging and rewarding. I'll eventually have to get to landscaping and scenery and building buildings and all that fun stuff, but I'm not quite ready for that yet, and we'll stick to the things that I enjoy to keep me chugging along here. Sorry guys, just want to jump in here because I forgot to mention when I bought the MDF, it comes in a 1.2 meter wide panel, and I only need 900 mils for this Peninsular, so it's given me a 300 mil strip, which matches up with the previous baseboard, and I will extend that baseboard all the way down the rest of this brick wall, and that'll allow me to start the construction of the Sydney terminal area. So very soon I'll have all my baseboards in, and I'll be able to start track planning Sydney terminal, finalising this track plan, and start running some trains, which is very exciting. Rightio, I'll catch you next video guys. Thanks for watching. Give us a like and subscribe, that'd be really appreciated.